Now we've got Florence Villamino, who's also on set. She's going to take a look at how the press is reacting to those exit polls and early results in the UK election.
That's right.
Continuing on the same theme.
Continuing on this major theme, of course, the big theme in the press today. Lots of shock, it must be said, in the British press yesterday. We were saying it was going to be a very close race. Now it seems like, well, the Conservatives are on track for a majority in Parliament. Let's take a look at the front page of The Independent. Sums up the situation quite well. It talks about how these shock election polls point to a Conservative victory. You can see David Cameron here smiling as he cast his ballot yesterday. A very smiley David Cameron on the front page of The Guardian as well. Cameron stuns Labour. Now, this, of course, has provoked kind of a mixed reaction in the papers depending on which candidate they endorse. Let's take a look, first of all, at right-wing papers. They're pretty happy about this Conservative victory. The Daily Mail calls it a triumph for the Tories. Cameron is heading back to number 10. The Sun is talking about Bluedini. Now, I guess that's a play on words with Harry Houdini, the very famous magician who managed to get himself out of any tricky situation. And inside The Sun, another funny play on words, I guess, if you're a conservative. It talks about keep calm and carry on, not keep calm and carry on. So keep Cameron and carry on. That's The Sun's take on things. Let's look at the other side of the political spectrum, though. The Daily Mirror, which is a Labour backing paper, they're very upset today. You can see the Daily Mirror is actually mourning on their front page. You can see this black background here and this question: do we really have 5 more damned years of David Cameron?
Now, people are starting to analyze the results that are coming in and also what they mean for the future of British politics.
That's right. There could be some major changes starting today, in fact. Now, let's take a look, first of all, at what this means for Labour. Labour, as I said, was hoping this could be a big victory for them. Well, it seems like they're headed for one of their worst electoral performances in more than 30 years. Ed Miliband, just a couple of hours ago, said that he was sorry for such a disappointing and difficult night. Now, papers are wondering if it could be the end of his political career, at least in the short run. You can see The Independent here. It's quoting sources from the Labour Party saying that Ed Miliband will actually be forced to resign within the coming hours. So major change there for the Labour Party. Now, the other big loser of the night was, of course, the Lib Dems, and you can read more about that in another article in The Guardian. They saw their support completely collapse in this election. There could be a major change at the top for them as well. You can see here Nick Clegg, the leader of the Liberal Democrats, saying that he's throwing his leadership into doubt. He said that the general election results had profound implications for the country and, of course, for the party.
Now, one of those implications could be a reform of the country's electoral system. That's what a lot of papers are calling for, at least. This pass-the-post system is apparently not pleasing everyone.
Not pleasing everyone, indeed. Starting with the Herald, that's a Scottish paper. They say that the big question now is what comes next. And what's clear, according to the Herald, is that electoral reform is needed. They say the current first-past-the-post system is dysfunctional, unfair, and in need of immediate reform. Now, what they want is some sort of a more proportional system, a representation, a system, not the first past the post.
Now, staying in Scotland, there a lot of focus on the Scottish National Party, which is one of the big winners here, and it's really being hailed as the victor. Though it did get 56 of those 59 seats.
That's right. It's seen as the big winner, including here in France. Let's take a look, first of all, at an article in Le Monde that talks about une douche écossaise pour Labour. So the Labour Party in Scotland got a Scottish shower. What is a Scottish shower? That's actually a French expression. It means when you alternate hot and cold water during your shower. Not the most pleasant of experiences, and certainly not for Labour. The Herald as well, if we go back to that Scottish paper, they say that Labour faces the prospect of a wipeout in Scotland, as a nation that Labour actually took for granted, according to the Herald. It took it for granted as a given, a political homeland. And so you can see here, the Herald is saying that Britain is really on the brink of a political upheaval, certainly in Scotland.
Yeah, some of those defeats were very symbolic as well.
Absolutely. The Scotsman, another Scottish paper, comes back on one of those very, very symbolic defeats for Labour, and that's the heavyweight Douglas Alexander, the shadow foreign secretary. He lost what was seen as a safe seat for Labour, and not only that, but he lost it to a 20-year-old woman who really rode the SNP surge, and she's set to become the youngest lawmaker since 1667, so quite a while. You can see here, there's a portrait of her in The Scotsman. Who is Mary Black? She's really emerged as one of the superstars of the election. She's a 20-year-old politics and public policy student at the University of Glasgow, so she's made history. She's on set to become the youngest MP in quite a while. She has to finish her dissertation first, though. That's what a lot of papers are saying. But her election is really part of a wider trend in this election. You can read more about it in The Independent as well. It says that 1/3 of the new MPs are expected to be women. So this would be a record number of women MPs and quite a change from the last parliament when there were fewer than 25%.
And that's just shy of a century after women got the right to vote.
Absolutely. Symbolic victory for us.
All right. Thank you so much, Florence Villamino.